There we go. We should be live in theory.
Yeah. There we are.
Which will be good. So we'll just wait for a few people to get logged in, and then we'll get going, as ever.
7 on the dot. Look at that.
That's because you're here.
Yeah, it is, actually. It really is.
It'll be 7. It'll be 5 past.
Wait for Nessie to do our sound check as well.
They say it's good to be a little bit late anyway, because it means that you're busy. If you're here on time, it means you're not as busy.
It's good to be on time, isn't it?
Yeah. We're live on Chen's page. There we go. Cool. Can see each other, which is cool. So we've got a few people logged in.
Kira's on. Hello.
So if you could do a sound check for us, Kira, that would be good. Good to see you.
Love the new background. Oh.
That's my spirit sign. If you move your head, we can show that.
Oh, and Ashley's got her cards. Loving her Chen cards. Show everybody the Chen cards.
Oh, yeah, Chen cards.
Just there.
There's the Chen cards. Really starting to get a lot of use. Well, we use them every day, obviously, but starting to do some readings with them.
A nice box.
So you might have noticed that we're doing a morning reading. A couple of cards. Pick the card that is resonating with you from Chen, basically, which would be good.
Thank you, Nessie. The sound is great. So cool. Naval's saying she likes a new background. Shall I lean to one side so that they can see what it is?
There we are, spirits. You can give the...
Is it the right way around on camera?
Yeah, it's fine. That's how they see it.
Yeah.
See we're there.
Spirits.
So we bought that. What did we buy that from? An antique
long time ago.
Junkyard, like 15 years ago.
Yes, from a junkyard. Yeah.
From a junkyard. It was from a pub, obviously, a UK pub, which they have the big sort of stained glass windows with things like spirits and wines and beer.
Beer, I think, is one.
And that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we saw the spirits one, and I thought, wow, that'd be really cool. We had no idea why we needed it at the time, but we bought it, and it's been up in a loft since we've been here 10 years.
Yeah, 11 years.
And then Jayne said the other day, where's that spirit sign that we had? So I went clambering around in a loft, basically, and found it and wrapped it. It's got a slight crack on the glass on one side, but you can't really see it.
No, not really.
But we thought it was a great background to have, basically.
Spirits,
yeah. Since we
I don't know how well you can see the colours, actually, on the screen either. It's not, because it's quite colourful, but
yeah,
we'll have to do a little close-up one day.
We will do a little video. But yeah, so since we work with spirits all day, every day, we thought it was very applicable to have spirits as our backdrop, really, which is cool.
Yeah, obviously not the whiskey type.
No whiskey, just spirits. So thanks for joining. So this is the 9th of February. When did that ever happen? Every week it seems that the week just flies by again, actually, which is, I'm sure for all of you it's the same. It just seems like, I don't know, because we're getting older, probably older than most of you, but it feels like the older you get, the faster time seems to spin forward, basically. And like Friday comes and we think, okay, it's the weekend. And then the next thing, it's Monday again. It comes back round.
Yeah, weeks are flying by for sure.
Yeah.
So Bri brings the grandchildren round, doesn't she, on a Friday? So Friday comes and goes, we're absolutely shattered by the time they've left, and then we do the weekend, and on Monday and Tuesday I start thinking, what am I going to cook for lunch on Friday again?
Yeah, it is a bit like that, really. I'm sure some of you guys have got grandchildren. When you get to nearly our age, sort of mid-50s, late 50s, pushing 60, having a 3-month-old and a 3-year-old with ADHD is quite a challenge,
not quite
basically.
3 months, is he? But yeah,
he's all right.
He's as good as gold, isn't he?
The new one, the fresh one's fine. It's the older one that's the problem.
Oh, goodness.
So this week we're going to talk about crystals. We haven't really covered gemstones, of course, for you guys across the pond, but crystals on this side of the pond. So we haven't really talked about crystals, although we all wear crystals. I've normally got myself adorned in my kind of shungite and crystal bracelet.
Yeah, and I've always got one of my Boho Betty crystals on, and this one, which Andy made me today, actually, I'm wearing this evening.
Yeah, I've got a little kit, basically.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd, rather than keep buying ones, I thought I'd make the ones that I like myself. So
whilst I was downstairs working all day, Andy was up here playing.
I wasn't playing. Work. It's work. It's a different sort of work. I was busy editing anyway, actually, as well.
Yeah.
So whilst editing's happening, as all of you know that do video, you have to find something to do in the meantime whilst the PC grinds to a halt, generally. So that's what I was doing, playing with gemstones.
Hmm.
So if we talk gemstones, so what are gemstones basically, or what are crystals effectively, and do they work, I guess, is the kind of key question that most people tend to ask. I know that when we both got introduced to our spiritual path, which was over 20 years ago, neither of us have heard of a crystal, gemstone. I have no idea what they meant, no idea what they were for.
Yeah, they were pretty.
You thought they were pretty. I thought they were probably a waste of time, to be perfectly honest, 20 years ago. So basically, Chen's kind of version of crystals really are that they are kind of a stable energy, sort of non-reactive frequency that highly or influences and sort of highly reacts with the human energy system. So crystals are kind of naturally coherent structures, ordered molecular lattices basically that create consistent frequency, which is the key. And those frequencies stabilize environments, nervous system, and also our subtle energy fields. So this conversation is especially kind of relevant for people like you guys that are sensitive, empathic, spiritual people that are often overwhelmed, drained, tired.
Hey, Nessie. Sorry.
People are affected by place, and people understanding why really. So crystals aren't really about kind of giving power away. They're more about supporting clarity, grounding, and sovereignty, which is of course why we obviously use them, because we're very keen to work from a kind of grounding perspective. And crystals form obviously in the earth through a very slow order process, normally high kind of pressure, and that creates a highly stable internal structure. And that structure obviously translates into consistent vibrational pattern. And we know that different crystals vibrate at different frequencies, which is why they're used for different things. So if you think about humans by contrast, really, we are kind of emotional, reactive. You're more emotional
You're
and
not.
reactive to me. I'm not, no, not either, really.
Hi, Catherine.
And constantly kind of shifting in frequency, really. So when a stable system is placed near an unstable system, coherence tends to increase. The two come together. And that's kind of not really. So crystals interact with human energy field in energetic ways, electrical, chemical, and energetic. So nervous systems responding to the rhythm, stability, and the coherence. And this is why they're so good for people like ourselves. They don't really actively do anything, but they hold the energy, they hold the vibration. So that consistency can calm overstimulation, obviously kind of anchors our scattered attention, which I have quite often, basically. So I'm always doing 5 things at once.
I'm finishing none.
Since we know that men can multitask so well, I try and do as many things as I can. And obviously anchor that kind of scattered attention, reduce energetic noise, and kind of support clear boundaries.
You're obviously carrying the wrong crystals.
Due to the overstimulation or the energetic noise. So sensitive people basically have permeable fields, and people that are intuitive, empathic, spiritually open, emotionally aware often have less rigid energetic boundaries, which effectively is sensitive people. And sensitivity, of course, without grounding tends to lead to overwhelm, over-emotion, overstimulation, anxiety, those sorts of things. So crystals can really help us anchor our frequency and obviously help that sensitive system to remain open without becoming flooded, which of course is the key thing. And I'm sure most of you guys have probably got crystals. If you've got crystals on you now, pop them in the chat. It'd be great to hear what people are wearing. I tend to like black things like shungite, black obsidian, anything black, kind of, again, we know kind of repels negativity. Good for grounding, anchors us. You tend to wear
Moonstone, amethyst. My amethyst ring you bought me
green
for my birthday. Yes, and I like green crystals. Not any one in particular, but
Pretty
I'm always
things.
drawn to green crystals. Yeah.
So really for crystals, it's about intention, really. And it's kind of the primary mechanism. So crystals don't really need a belief system to function. They're not really like a tuning fork. It doesn't need a belief to resonate. They just do. And they have kind of direct attention, increase our awareness, strengthen our relationships. And of course, crystals frequency works anyway, regardless whether you're skeptical or not, really. So superstition doesn't come into the way that crystals work. And we know that quartz crystals are used in watches. So when you compress a quartz crystal, you get the piezoelectric effect, which effectively is energy and electricity. And that's what we use for time, or some watches, obviously most now are probably digital automatics. But back in the day, you know, you used to buy a watch by the number of quartz crystals that were used. And obviously quartz was the kind of key part of that, effectively.
Kira's saying she's wearing one of our pendants.
I've got that one as well.
Yeah.
The one that I wear. That's today's one. I tend to change them most days because we've got a huge big box of crystals. So I've always got that in my field because, again, we know that works really well. And some of them are quite strong. And we've got a couple of new ones that we've made, actually. They've got a couple of very strong magnets in, as well as a tensor geometric pattern, and of course the Orgonite as well. So these crystals these pendants are hugely energetic, and you put them on, I can kind of feel everything sort of moving and vibrating with the new ones that haven't yet made it to the website.
Strong, aren't they?
But they're coming because we're testing them first. So I figure if I'm going to test it, then I need to wear it for quite a while to make sure that I'm happy with them. And then obviously if we're happy with them, they find their way to downstairs, as Michael will laugh. Check Jayne downstairs. Into the shop, and then of course...
Well, yeah, for a photo shoot first.
Find their way to Ollie, who puts on the website. Yeah. So there is a kind of process, really, for us to get things onto the website. But new things that we're building and creating need to be obviously be tested by ourselves because they're kind of our tools. And of course, they come with Chen's backing. So it was Chen's idea.
His sort of recipe, wasn't it?
To amalgamate sort of the tensor concept with magnetism, so strong magnets and Orgonite. So those three things together, I don't think anyone else makes anything like it at all. You can buy Orgonite, you can buy tensor, that kind of thing. You can buy magnets, but no one's really made a pendant that kind of accumulates all of those things together, which is very, very strong.
In fact, so strong, we were thinking that anybody with a pacemaker perhaps
we might have to put warning on. If you've got a pacemaker, probably not for you, really. But they're designed to be hugely protective and supportive to the energetic field, which, of course, is the reason that we're making them. And that's the reason that we're wearing them and testing them, really.
Catherine was in the hospital again last week. She's saying, "Is that your asthma again, Catherine?" But she said, "I had my bag of crystals and security thought it was great. The nurses told me it's good I have them to ward off the bad juju." Which you pick up some horrible things in hospital, can't you? So.
Yes, hospitals are the places you pick things up. Well, you tend to come out with things you never went in with, really. So spiritual clearings and checking your sovereignty coming out is definitely worth doing, really, from that perspective.
Tesla's saying, can you talk a bit about Moldavite?
Moldavite being the kind of ET crystal, really. In fact, it was one of the first things I got years and years ago. We went to Glastonbury and I bought a tiny piece of Moldavite, which is supposed to be a kind of asteroid that crashed into Russia or somewhere, I think, basically. And I remember when I started to wear it, I started to have, contact with ET energies. So it is very strong and clearly works. Kind of moved on from those days, because obviously that was before I was talking to Chen. And Chen effectively has those contacts in place anyway now. But yeah, Moldavite, I think, is really good from that perspective to give you kind of that enlightenment or the connection, vibration, to connect to other ET species and to be able to talk to them. And it's, it certainly works. So again, I used to wear it bed, I think, at night. So I didn't wear it on the day. I used to put it on at night because I wanted to talk to things at night because I wasn't keen on sleeping.
Well, you kept awake a lot.
So yeah, we had a lot of problems obviously at night. So connecting to other energies for help obviously was kind of a key thing. But Moldavite's good. We've got a piece somewhere. We probably could go and find it. Well, I wouldn't know where it was now, actually, but you'd probably know.
Probably here somewhere.
No, it's in the pendant box, I think, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, we'll find it for next time.
Yeah. So, but any of you guys that are into Moldavite, obviously you're part of the chat. You can talk to each other. You can give your opinions. And if any of you have found Moldavite to be helpful for ET Contact, that was certainly why I bought it and what I wanted to use it for at the time. So it'll be interesting to see if that kind of resonates with you guys too, really.
Catherine's just saying that she's learned that Moldavite isn't actually the meteor, but it's the glass created from the meteorite crash. Interesting.
It's interesting, yeah. So I guess as that meteor comes in, it gets so hot that effectively whatever minerals are on the asteroid, it creates or melts, I guess, to form that glass. If that sounds about right, Catherine. It sounds like you probably know more than me about it, really. I just know it's green, looks pretty, and it definitely helps with a bit of ET contact.
Yeah. That's the thing. So the Moldavite has an ET frequency that facilitates matching the frequency for contact, for us to contact and see. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely works. I thought it worked when I started to wear it. Mind you, we were talking to all sorts of things.
Contact.
So, yeah, A lot of things going on back in the day, really. Some things were good and some things were not so good.
Candy's saying that she's still got her crystal skull that she got here in the UK. Was that
wow.
Avery, Candy? We've got them as well, haven't we? Where are yours? It used to be sat right here.
I did actually. I moved it somewhere.
Mine is. I've got mine on my desk, looking at me, watching me whilst I work.
Is it over there?
Okay. Oh yes.
Yeah, I've got a small room and things do get moved about occasionally.
You've got
skull.
Well, it's not really a skull,
Well,
is it?
not really
It's
a skull.
elfin, isn't it?
It's now, yeah.
There you go. Elfin.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be, is it what's that say? Leopardite.
Yeah.
Leopardite, for those of you that can kind of see. So it's quite cool.
Mm.
It's very heavy. So it's, we were in that shop actually that you were in, Candy, and that kind of called out to me. And I thought, oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, somebody wants to chat to me. So I was all happy for that and brought that little chap home, which will be
Sorry.
which is good.
Didn't realise Bert was there.
No, Bert's free.
Sorry about that. Bert's got an ear infection. So,
He hasn't stopped
we
embarking.
spent a good chunk of our Sunday at the vet's yesterday. So at the out of hours vet yesterday. So he's cost us a little bit of money as well, hasn't he? Bless them.
Yes, Sunday. Why do dogs always become ill on a weekend, never during the week? It's really bizarre, isn't it?
No, of course he's got these steroid. What's it called? You have to squirt it in. It's sort of like a spray, isn't it?
Yeah.
To take the inflammation down in his ear. So we have to creep up on him because otherwise he bites us.
Yeah, he's not really realised who the owners are.
He's in pain and he ain't very patient.
Or who the boss is, probably, actually.
Yeah.
They say don't bite the hand that feeds you, but Bert's not too
He's
bothered
not
about
bothered.
that. No, he's more than happy to bite you and then ask you for food. Okay, so I think we've probably covered the crystal conversation that we were quite keen to have.
Invite Chen in.
Yep. So, let's get Chen to come in. Jayne's got a big list of questions here from you guys. So we'll hand over. I'll disappear and see you in a while. If you can keep the dog from barking for 2 minutes. Okay. Good day, my dear.
Hello, Chen. Not far away then?
No, always waiting in the wings.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically.
Yes. For you are in the wings quite a lot, aren't you now? Really?
Yes, it feels like I'm having a part life, really.
Does it?
So what we tend to do is I basically match young Andrew's vibrational frequency. So effectively, if you can imagine, I'm in the same frequency as him, just not connected into the mental construct and conscious awareness per se. So as soon as we do this handover, then of course we swap seats, so to speak.
Do. So you're saying you spend quite a lot of time on a lower frequency than you're used to normally?
Higher for me, much higher.
Higher for you?
Would be my normal frequency.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But when we do
when
these,
you're
obviously,
doing this, you come down,
yes, I descend to a chocolate-based frequency.
So when you're waiting in the wings, you're not quite as high as you're normally.
No, I have to sustain a lower vibratory frequency, and of course, young Andrew is expected to bring his up.
So how does that affect you then? In terms of, does it have an effect on you? Having to spend so much time on a lower note?
Not particularly. Obviously, I change my frequency as you would change your radio dial frequency.
Oh, quite easy.
It has more effect on our chocolate-eating friends, really.
He's not going to live that down, is he?
Now, you notice the theme already this week. We did have a conversation about his love of chocolate.
Yes, I know. Oh, he's awful. He is awful. He ate a whole box the other night. Well, I think it was last week. Not was last weekend, the weekend before. And made the mistake of mentioning that in front of Chen.
I obviously watched too, my
you
dear.
must have known, obviously.
Very aware of how much chocolate's consumed.
Yeah, yes, he's got a sweet tooth.
I think the story about him hiding chocolate from himself was the funniest, though.
That was funny. It was at Christmas time, and I had actually overbought chocolate and sweet things at Christmas, but so there's a lot of it. And I had a big bowl on the island which was filled with all sorts of lovely different treats. And I caught him one day putting this bowl in the pantry, and I said, "Well, who are you hiding that from?" Like, grandchildren aren't here. He said, no, I'm hiding it from myself. If you leave them there, I'm just eating them. Oh, he's really funny.
It does say quite a lot, my dear.
Yeah, he's got no self-control over chocolate at all.
No. Well, we all have our things that we like. And of course, I guess there are worst addictions that one could have.
Yes, for sure.
But it does provide us with content to enjoy. Yes.
Have a laugh at his expense.
Of course.
You're making me hot already.
Yes, I can feel the heat radiating in here.
Goodness. I opened the London window. Can you feel that or not?
No.
You can't?
I don't feel the draft, I feel the heat.
Yes, but before you said that the energy in here felt different, and we worked it out was because there was some air blowing through.
Yes, I haven't noticed this week particularly. As soon as I came in, it was already quite warm.
Yes. Well, it's piping hot now.
Yes, I'm sorry, my dear. You could see it as a detoxification.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yes.
Almost like a mini sauna.
Yeah. I can just, you're like a radiator, really. So we've got a few questions. Shall we start with Nick Ferraru? I'm sorry, Nick, you're online. You're here with us this evening. I'm sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong. But he would like to ask, what type of food can damage his aura? He says, I stopped eating meat. Sometimes I eat a bit of chicken and fish because I felt weak, but I don't want to eat anymore. I started to eat raw veggies, smoothies. I take spirulina and omega-3 and apple vinegar. I like sweets, so I often eat chocolate. Sweeteners in tea. I use plant-based, and very often I eat bread, but not too much. The question is again, sorry, what type of food can harm or damage my aura? Thank you very much for the work you're doing.
Yes, well, it's a very interesting topical question that does cover everyone to a certain degree because you are all human and therefore you all do need to consume food and drink, of course, too. So from a general perspective, if we go back in time, obviously the diet was very different to today. So people were growing their own food. Food wasn't sprayed with toxic poisons and chemicals that keeps wildlife and everything else at bay, really. And of course, the human body is carnivorous by design. So you're designed to be carnivores, you're designed to eat meat and fish, of course. And if you look at every other species on planet Earth, every other species, it eats and consumes its native food. So everything is eating. You don't see lions cultivating vegetables. Lions are eating raw meat because that's what they're designed to eat.
Everything eats each other.
Yes, but the human's gone completely off the path. So what we have now is we have chemical production and chemical-based companies making food that's not sustainable for the human biology and chemistry and branding and selling them as food. And of course, it has no nutritional value whatsoever.
No.
But worse than that, of course, it's poisonous to the human body. And this is why there are so many diseases that so many people have, because it all comes back to nutritional choices and toxified food. So the conversation really is a bit bigger than what food is good and what food is bad. So if we said what food was good back in the 1950s and 60s, probably everything, because it wasn't toxified and poisoned. Whereas now most things, if you look at the ingredients, you find 50 or 60 things. Well, food should contain 1 or 2 things. If you looked at the ingredients of an egg, you would see the word egg. There wouldn't be anything else. If you looked at the word meat, beef, chicken, lamb, that would be the word. So we have the core foods that humans are designed to eat have a singular word that is the main food. And then, of course, we have other things. So water, again, is water. It's not, doesn't have anything in it, doesn't have things to make it taste nice or things to change the colour. It just is water. So if you went back to the diet of a 1950s person, that would be the proper diet for a human being. But of course, people now like different types of food, as we say with chocolate. What's in chocolate? So chocolate starts off with cocoa beans, and obviously lots of other emulsifiers and things are added. Oils and such like colourings. So there's a whole host of new products that have been used to create what's loosely termed as food, but it doesn't have nutritional value to a human. So really, that's the answer, is that when you turn over something, if there's more than one ingredient, it's manufactured or processed food, not food.
Yes.
So food is a singular word or drink, and anything more than one word is not food. It's a product that's been designed and created. And of course, if you look at all of your vegetables, for most people, you think being vegetarian or eating vegetables is good. But vegetables are sprayed with toxic pesticides and chemicals, so they're more toxic than meat. So you could say eating just meat would be better nutritionally than eating vegetables, because the vegetables come with poison to be assimilated into the cell membrane. This is the problem, really. The food chain has been completely taken over.
It has, hasn't it? So you're saying, really, meat, unsprayed vegetables, eggs.
Yes, so anything with one word.
Water.
Yes, if it's got one word, it's probably okay.
So what about milk? Because cows are given lots of different things to eat these days that aren't just grass in the field. Even like grass has been sprayed, hasn't it?
Yes, of course. When you have organic, in theory, organic products are supposed to be non-sprayed products.
Yes.
But
so organic milk.
Whether that's the case, of course, is another thing. But yes, but then, of course, humans really are designed to ingest human milk, not cow's milk. So again, we could go back in time and think the concept of consuming milk for another animal is also a deviation from the biology and chemistry of the human being.
Yes.
But of course, you can't buy human milk for obvious reasons when you become adult. So that wouldn't be a choice generally.
No, but it's weird though, actually, isn't it? Thinking about it, because I mean, as babies, that's all we'd have had. So where along the line, did it have to? I suppose it's
Yes.
Mummies aren't cows, are they?
They call it progress, my dear, but I think we, looking in spiritually, don't see progress. We see profit and money.
Yeah, right.
And corporations.
So we've really got to start questioning things more, haven't we?
Well, if you eat the things that taste nice, that have lots of ingredients, most of which are not actually assimilated into the body, then of course disease is the outcome.
Yeah.
So if you look at diabetes being, a pancreas-based disorder problem, why are so many people exhibiting these sorts of problems now? And everyone on this call probably knows, if you know 5 people, 2 of them are probably diabetic or pre-diabetic. But why would that be? Because it shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
So it's food, of course.
Yes.
And the same with bread, obviously. Bread of the old days, back in the 1920s, was a different species of bread to the modern version that's been genetically modified.
Yeah, and that keeps for 2 weeks.
Yes, and it's obviously laced with all sorts of things that insects and viruses also, or bacteria, don't want to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
Andrew has this joke about the chips that you can leave out, that you can have for weeks, and there's no greenery attached to them.
A certain takeaway.
A certain takeaway.
Yes.
This bugbear conversation. But of course, if food is left out and it doesn't decompose or attract bacteria, then there's a problem, because everything is designed to break down if it's natural.
Yeah, yeah. I was just looking. Cryptic Gallows says, "Do pigs produce milk?" Well, they would, wouldn't they? Because they would suckle their young. So if so, that would be the closest to human milk. Awful as that may sound, and the only meat I don't eat. Interesting.
Yeah. I think goat's milk is more assimilated for human. It's certainly not as strong from a lactose perspective. And I know that many people that have lactose intolerances move to goat's products instead. So goat being obviously dairy milk, those sorts of things.
Goat's milk for a little while. It has definitely got a bit of a different taste to it. I used to call it goaty. It's got a goaty taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think sort of having lived on a farm for quite a long time in my younger life, it sort of tasted farmy. There was
that's what taste of goats. So I mean, like all things, it's all down to choices, really.
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah. Yes.
And everyone must make the choices, and most people are making choices based on currency, based on how much money you have to
Well, that's
to
the other
spend.
thing.
So
Food has really gone up in price. I bought a joint of beef to do a roast dinner when the family were all around a few weeks ago, and I told Lloyd I paid £32. I'm not sure what that is in dollars, and I think actually the Australian dollars, that would have been about $65 in Australia. And he couldn't believe how much. He didn't actually believe me. He said, "No, you've got that wrong." I said, "Nope, nope." And it's all gone up. All food, our food shop.
yeah, so the question would be, what's changed?
Yeah, and who's getting the extra money? Because nothing's changed and nothing's more. Farmers aren't getting paid anymore.
No, so there's obviously a devious plan.
Well, perhaps we'll move on then.
Yes, because you know where we are, my dear.
Yes.
We're straddling the
We
thin
know what you're
line.
like. Yes.
I'd love nothing more than to have the conversation, but I'm very aware that these platforms are censored.
Yes, of course. Okay, so Nick, meat, eggs, water, anything that is that's not been sprayed, and can't go wrong.
If you can find such things,
Yes,
of course.
Yes. I know, you've got me thinking about the lasagna I made now for dinner that we've had today. Bits and pieces I put in it. Anyway, on to the next question. Jayne Rebecca Hanson. Chen, what are your thoughts on supplements? I take so many. I feel they are helping me, but it does come at a cost. And also, when I ask you and your team to clear my own energy, do you hear me? Yeah, I can answer that one for you. He does, because he hears the energy.
Yes, anyone that asks for myself or the team, of course we hear the energy stream come in and we attend. It's what we do. So if you ask, then you receive. So that bit is very clear and easy to cover. The other conversation about supplements. It's always cool. Yes. Myself and the team, that's what we do. We're here to help. We're here to clear. We're here to provide assistance for people that are suffering from negative interference.
Yes.
That's what we're here for. So the supplement conversation, of course, is quite different, really. So when we think about, again, the human biology and chemistry, supplementation is aligned with a lack of vitamins. So going back in time again, people that didn't get, say, vitamin C, if you want to ship for weeks or months on end, going back in time, people had scurvy and things. So you had vitamin deficiencies because they were not getting the complete assimilation of the range of vitamins required. But of course, if you're eating what we might call a balanced normal diet, which of course no one probably does these days because everything is adulterated, along the same conversation, then of course people are supplementing to give them the things that they're probably missing. And of course there's lots of conversations about different ailments and diseases that are called because of deficiencies of certain vitamins or minerals. So it's very difficult space for you all to know what you should take, because of course what we would say from our perspective is there's not really a huge amount of benefit of taking random supplements unless you're testing. So you would do a blood test and you would calibrate a blood test and look for the things that you might be deficient in due to your geographical location or of course your dietary choices. And then if you're deficient in those things, you would then probably take a supplement to benefit and give you the things that you're missing. But taking a wide range of supplements without actually having the marker in the first place means that you're probably overtaxing your kidneys, you're probably overtaxing your system. I'm sure when you go to the toilet, you probably can be seen from space. Because there will be a very bright
vitamin C
overload. So people that supplement too much obviously run the risk of having additional health complications because, of course, the kidneys and liver and such like are trying to filter out all of the things that aren't required. So it's an interesting conversation.
So you can put your body under quite a strain, really.
Yes. And of course, taking the same vitamins and minerals day in, day out, then your body effectively is removing the majority of them anyway. And then, of course, you're probably not getting the benefit of the ones that you started to take in the first place.
Because it's flushing everything through so quickly.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we could, what I do, but muscle testing, kinesiology is perhaps another way of finding out what we're lacking.
That would be a very good thing to do.
Yes.
And of course, obviously, for most people, given the fact that the the food system is so adulterated. Taking a complex multivitamin and mineral together, one tablet effectively, would probably be a beneficial thing to do. But again, I would suggest take it for a few days and then lay off for a few days, and then take it for a few days and then lay off again for a few days. So put some gaps in between the supplement routine, and obviously use different supplements.
Yes, actually that's quite interesting, because Andy makes our supplement with cloves and there's all sorts of things that go in it, and we take it every day. And at the start of the winter, everything was fine, and then I caught a cold, and then so did he, and it's just sort of like it's been this, even though we're still taking this supplement. So should we stop it for a few days and just so your body doesn't get used to it? Our bodies maybe not just too resilient then.
Yes, sometimes it's good to stop things for a few days and just put space in. It gives the body time to obviously recuperate, and obviously if the kidneys have been working hard because the supplementation is quite strong, then of course you get that break. So it's a bit like fasting. In my opinion, everyone probably should fast every week for a day. I know, my dear, that chocolate comes into the conversation.
Not for me.
But if on a Monday, you spent the weekend overindulging, which most people of course do, which is fine. You enjoy yourself. That's what you're here to do. But then maybe Monday could be a fast day, that you just take in water, or you just have one meal rather than 3. So you basically lay off the strain of your body, and of course this lets you detoxify yourself.
I could do that. I think I could probably quite easily do that, actually.
Yeah, so it's a good thing to do. Many people do these types of diets whereby they only eat, again, once a day, maybe at midday. So if you're eating, you've got a basically 24-hour window or 23-hour window of just drinking water
and letting your body
clear. And obviously when it's clearing, it's detoxifying, and of course it creates more energy too as time goes by.
Yes.
So detoxifying and fasting is very advantageous.
Oh, okay, right. Well, Jayne, I hope that that answers your question, and gives you a few other things to think about as well. Candy asked, has Chen ever talked about hormonal shifts within women? I think we've touched on it.
Yes, I think you covered the menopause, my dear, did you?
Yes.
Yes.
Did I? I think so. I think, yes, Catherine and I talked about starting a little group, which we haven't done, Catherine, have we? So maybe that's something else to...
pertinent reminder, possibly.
Yes. So Candy says she feels like the luteal phase, I struggle with sovereignty, grounding, and self-created thought forms the most. It feels like hormones can alter your frequency. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yes, of course they do, because you are a chemical being, an electromagnetic chemical body. So you've got the physical skin, the physical body. We know we've got the energetic body, which effectively the etheric field, call it the auric field. And we know that the body holds 70% water.
Yes.
And that water is mineralized or has minerals in it to substantiate electrical currents to flow to work your whole body and to animate the body. So you know that if you start to drink lots of water and you flush the electrolytes away, you start to get cramps, you start to have potassium and magnesium deficiencies. And of course, this is indicating to you that if you're having those symptoms, then the brain won't be working the same. The electrical signals are not flowing around the body in the same way, and you start to exhibit different problems. And if we look at people with aggravated symptoms, things like dementia, some of those problems, Parkinson's, again, you see electrochemical problems. They can't animate the body properly. The thought process doesn't work properly. Obviously, chemical poisoning, heavy metal poisoning is part of the problem, because, of course, when you've got a young child that has the right electrolytes in their body, everything works as it should. But when you look at an old person that has a huge buildup of toxins in their system and a lack of water, then of course electricity doesn't flow properly inside their cellular system, and these are some of the symptoms that you see. So she's actually quite right that of course hormones come into play in the same way. So as a woman gets older, the hormone system changes. Obviously ladies go through menopause, which of course is the stopping of the old maternal system, and that changes the pituitary, therefore the hormones change in the body. And of course this is why for many people there's lots of ups and downs and different presentations to how they feel in themselves. One day they may feel fine, the next day they may feel suicidal, let's say, but that's not actually a spiritual problem at that point. That's the hormones going up and down causing some of those symptoms.
So
more than
with those,
likely.
sorry to better, because Candy's not menopausal, I don't think. She's just talking about her monthly cycles. But that would be the same effect.
Yeah, same effect.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I hope that's helped somewhat, Candy. Catherine, if you are still here, we need to talk about having a little get together. So Kira's asking, actually this is really interesting. I was fascinated by this. When I was little, I was out on the drive watching my dad work on the car. There was a man standing next to me talking to me. He was wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt. I must have been sharing what he was telling me with my dad, and my dad shut me down. He couldn't see the man and it scared him. My friend Marty said that it was Blue Jean Jesus and he only appeared to children. Has Chen heard of him and does he know of him?
No. It's
an old wives' tale, isn't it?
Well, it's a very interesting concept. And of course, many people do see spirit. As we know, children see spirit. And of course, you can, if you're telepathic and if you're mediumistic, then you will see other energies and entities too, which we talk about. So seeing a person presenting with blue jeans and a white t-shirt would be indicative of a spirit showing itself in that way. And you must remember that we, from a spiritual perspective, can decide how we present.
Yes.
So when I show myself to Andrew, I choose the image that I want to present with. And therefore I can choose the type of my hair, the colours of my clothing, the way that the age that I'm presenting, all of those types of things. So obviously if lots of people are seeing the same blue jeans, white t-shirt image, then maybe that is a particular spirit showing them in that way. And of course it could be a religious connotation. If you're brought up in a culturally religious family and that's the religious iconography, then it would be indicative that people might see what they think they've been taught to experience or taught to perceive, if that makes sense.
Okay, but would it be though that there is some spirit type that does only present itself to children?
That could well be. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so it might be that other children were seeing this.
Yes.
This man. So okay, that's interesting. Thanks for sending that in, Kira. And obviously, you're obviously very intuitive. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen him at all if your dad couldn't see him. Rakan would like to know more on negative interference. What is it? How it happens? How to tell if it's happening? And how to reclaim your spiritual sovereignty? That Rakan's a new client to us.
Okay, we didn't discuss this.
We have covered these things before, but I wanted to include him.
Yes, that's a good question. Obviously, so we work on the assumption, the concept that the human being should be a sovereign body. And that means that your energy should be your own. So it's a very simple concept. If your energy is not your own and you have some other energy attached to your field, then that would break what we would term as your sovereignty. And of course, quite often other energies can be discarnate spirits. So people like yourselves that have been alive and died can attach to the living and obviously create negative interference through intrusive thoughts, intrusive feelings, intrusive ideas, and of course other entities. So different species of entities, of which there are pages and pages worth, numerous, lots of, can do and have the same impact. So again, when spiritual sovereignty is broken, then there's negative interference. If we look at things like cursing is thought process, telepathy, intentional energy. So if you think about someone in a positive way, you send them a blast of positive energy. If you think about someone in a negative way, you send them a blast of negative energy, which hits their etheric field and obviously has some type of consequence. So someone that's very healthy, protected, wouldn't even notice. Someone that's feeling down, is tired, fatigued, depleted, may feel more down, more depleted, more negative if you continually send negative energy in what we would term cursing. So there's lots of conversations around negative interference and lots of ways that can happen. The key, of course, is maintaining your own physical health through the choices that you eat and drink, of course. Meditation, so bringing in, clearing your field, connecting with your guides, and achieving spiritual sovereignty, which should be quite easy for most people to do. So people that have been through traumas, pain, problems as they get older, of course, they have more of a perforated energetic field, and this allows negative energy to change the way you feel or think. But generally, this is the whole key around learning how to be 100% sovereign in yourself.
Yeah, learning to do your protection. Yes, thank you. I do just need to point out, it's been bothering me that Andy has something on his lip. It looks like he's got something on his lip. It does look like a big bit of lasagna, but it's not. He's got dry skin.
It probably is chocolate.
So now I can see it on the camera behind on the thinking, gosh, it does look like he's been eating. Okay, thank you, Chen. Veronica, a question for dear Chen: does practicing the art of Qigong, if that's the way you pronounce it, daily help with our spiritual practice? Does it help allow our minds and bodies to open up to the higher light?
Yes, a lot of these practices do the same thing. So again, Tai Chi being a similar form, a lot of the Eastern practices that involve body movement with thought. So that's all they are. There's different names that are given to these things, but the general concept being you move your body as your body is moving with intention, so energy is flowing around the body, and then we incorporate meditation practices or intentional practices at the same time. So we look at lots of different words for these things like Pilates, you could say stretching, you could say yoga, we could say Tai Chi. So there's a whole list of different words, but they all basically do the same thing. It's body movement with intention.
Okay.
And that helps, of course, the energy to flow. And we know that we have an energetic body. So if you sit down all day, then of course the energy isn't going to flow in the same accordance with someone that's moving all of their joints and all of their body and helping that energy flow. And then of course the electricity to flow around the field, which of course is the key thing.
Yes.
And this is why for many people that get older, you see groups of people in different countries outside busy pushing trees and doing all sorts of things. They're trying to get the energy to flow in their energetic system. Yeah,
and of course all these forms of exercise, however you'd like to, they're very slow, aren't they?
Yes, because of course the older body doesn't do well with strength exercises.
No.
So by the time people get to mid-40s, you don't really want to be pushing, lifting weights, which is stressful for your whole system. Stressful for your heart, it's stressful for joints and everything. You want to be having slow movements that are intentional and aligning thought with the field. Young people think about bodybuilding and muscles, and all they're interested in is the physical. What's the weight I can lift? But the mind is dead.
Of course, I mean, they get a huge buzz from that, don't they?
Yes.
But
they have no brains when they're younger. Older people realise you need to accommodate and interconnect the body with the mind.
But of course, yoga slows your mind down as well, doesn't it? I find that anyway. It's still hard work, mind, because you're putting your body into in some very odd positions at my age. You don't really want to be doing, but
yes, you must remember again that what you're thinking, the body is working. So when you're dreaming, if you're having a dream that you're running, you can see your synapses firing. Your legs might be moving. So just because you're not actually running, the mind thinks you're running, the subconscious thinks you're running. So things are still happening from a physical perspective when the body isn't actually working.
Okay.
That was a good question.
Thought. Thank you. Well, thank you, Veronica. Brenda, you'll remember, Chen, that you had a chat with Brenda, I think maybe a year, 18 months ago, something like that. And she was asking you about her sleeping problem. And her question is, following my chat with Chen and disclosing my problem around my inability to fall asleep in case I get woken up, so it's a fear, this problem has not resolved. Is there anything more you can do to release me from this problem, which has taken over my life for over 25 years?
Yeah, so we know the concept being that there is an event that happened in her
past
life,
life, yes.
past, probably this life. I think I can't recall exactly, but I think it was this life, and that event obviously caused a lot of fear.
Yes.
And of course, the fear is connected, or the emotion of the experience is connected to going to sleep. So when she let herself go to sleep, of course, that emotion comes forward, which is basically a boundary, a barrier stopping her from properly falling asleep, because of course that fear is there. So what we have to do is we have to address the emotion. The emotion is the key. And the main way to do that, of course, is through some type of either counseling, where we do some sort of psychotherapy, or through meditation, where we can bring up the images and disconnect the emotion from the actual event effectively. So it's breaking those two things that have to happen.
Hypnotherapy?
Hypnotherapy would also be a good choice, because we need to go straight to the event and remember the event, bring that forward into the conscious collective, and then disconnect the emotions that are connected to the event. And then when nighttime comes and she's very tired, she should be able to start to drift off, because when you're drifting off, what are you doing? You're turning off the conscious mind.
Yes.
And you're handing over to the subconscious to run the body, to keep you alive until the next day. So what's happening for this young lady really is that's not happening. So the conscious mind is not letting go. It's not handing back to the subconscious to run the physicality, whilst the conscious effectively is disconnected. So this I would say is the problem. And obviously we've looked at this.
Yes,
so
yes, you have. Yeah.
There's obviously quite a big fear. There's an event there that was very traumatic.
Yeah.
That has to be delicately handled and disconnected, I would say.
It sounds more like a phobia, doesn't it, really?
Yes, but hypnotherapy would be a good choice.
Yes,
I'm sure you probably can provide some type of guidance.
Yes, I'm sure I can, actually.
People, yes. I'm sure you know someone, my dear.
Yes, I do.
You know everyone.
I don't know everyone. But yes, I can point you in the direction of somebody, Brenda. If you would like that, let me know on email, and I can put you in touch. All right. Okay, so that was Brenda's. Susan would like to ask. Oh, I don't know why I put this one in. Can you ask Chen which dimension he's from? I think that one's looking in between.
Yes, well, we generally don't answer these questions.
No, I know.
So what we say is that we're very close to you. We don't tend to give, or I don't tend to give too much information, mainly because, of course, from my perspective, I'm working hand in hand with humanity, so humans as a group of people, and we're doing that, of course, in accordance with various spiritual laws and various other energies and entities. So if I was to give you my complete bio or CV, then the image that I choose to portray and the narrative that I choose to give would be eroded significantly. So it's much better for me to not have a word or a name that may mean more to people. And I merely present as Chen. So an energy that I had when I was physical on planet Earth. So it's an avatar that I picked because I was Chen and I did have a physical life. Obviously, what I am now and who I am now is a different complex conversation. And what I want to be judged by is by people's truth and integrity. So you listen to the words that I say, listen to what we do, and watch what we do, and watch what happens to the people we work with, and that's what we are judged by. So we're judged by the outcome and the results, not by the words.
Absolutely.
Whereas there are many spiritual deities.
Yes,
there are many spiritual deities that want to be judged by the words, what they say they are, or who they say they are. But let's look at what they're actually doing every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
This carries more weight, I think.
Yes.
But it was a good question that snuck in, my dear. I'm sure you snuck it in purposely.
Maybe I did, but I've printed these out this morning. I don't actually remember seeing it, but anyway.
Yes, it was a good question.
Are you top of the pile, though?
Not really, my dear.
Oh, okay.
The pile goes a long way up.
Oh, thank you, Chen. It's getting on for an hour, so I think I did have another couple, but I think we'll do those next week. Get us started for next week's questions. As always, it's been lovely to talk to you.
Yes, it's been my pleasure too, my dear. I can still feel that heat emanating from you. Very, very warm in here.
I know. Can you see this lady glistening?
Yes, I'm sure young Andrew will be glistening too.
Yes.
When he comes back. But never mind, there's chocolate downstairs, I'm sure.
There is.
That's almost like the dog's reward, where you give the dog a treat and it does something good.
Yes.
Not very
Maybe.
often.
It shouldn't be chocolate. I mean, I'm not talking about the dog even, but
No. I was laughing to myself, my dear, because not very often you caught for words, but you were struggling there with the words. Well, I will say good day to everyone and yourself. And I will look forward to more joviality next week.
Yes, thank you, Chen. Thank you.
Hello. Back again.
Oh, that was funny. Chocolate still featuring quite highly in the conversation.
I don't eat that much chocolate. What did they? I did have one piece earlier, to be fair.
Yeah.
One of those small ones that's left in that little box
that
someone brought and delivered, which was nice of them. Other than that,
yeah. I was going to have one of those today as well, Andy, but
they're gone. That's what happens in our house. If you don't get it early, it's gone, basically. That's your problem, isn't it? You do leave things. Jayne tends to savour things, so things get left around the house, in the kitchen generally. And of course, I come down with a coffee, generally hungry, and think, oh, that's been left, which must mean that Jayne's not keen to eat it, so she won't notice if I just eat that. And then an hour or two later, she'll come in looking for the thing that she put to one side that is
gone.
It's gone. Yes, I'm sure it happens in everyone's house. See what everyone has to say about the eating conversation. How many things disappear from your house, from the kitchen, when you leave them on the side? Because I'm sure it probably is the same in most houses.
Elaine's just asking a interesting question, actually. I might put it down for next week and ask Chen to answer it. She's saying, I was wondering, why do spiritual workers often struggle financially?
It's interesting.
Yeah. Good question. I will...
Well, that's a good question, actually.
Jot that down, Elaine, and then we can put that to Chen next Monday night. Yeah,
in fact, it was one of the things we were going to talk about. If you guys are interested, of course, we were going to talk about our whole kind of process, weren't we? When we first met, basically, that our whole understanding fell apart, basically, about the world, everything. It's almost like you're up kind of a ladder, and that's your life, and you're kind of moving along that, and you kind of come down the snake right to the very bottom, basically, which is what we're talking about for spiritual people. And it seems like you have to kind of live this life of being quite frugal and having no money, generally. And then, of course, as your spiritual understanding starts to grow, so your spiritual knowledge and choices start to change. And as those two things start changing, you start to sort of climb the proverbial ladder again. But this time you're actually doing it consciously as opposed to not, effectively.
Yeah.
And most people we know, actually, spiritually are are on that ladder somewhere, but lots of them end up going to the bottom. I'm thinking of a particular person that we know. What's that one?
That's so funny. It's dry skin, isn't it?
Is that?
Yeah, it is. We've covered that.
Did you?
Yeah, because I kept spotting it thinking, is that a bit lasagna? But it's not, it's just dry
Crack
skin.
lips. I'm sat in this hot room all day, basically.
That's funny.
Yeah, interesting.
Michael says, excellent as always. Pass the chocolate, please. Don't encourage him,
There's
Michael.
no chocolate left around here, Michael. We'll just pass you the wrappers, basically.
Yeah, I search this room on a weekly basis to check nothing like that's been knock upstairs.
I've got loads of vitamins in here.
Yeah, they're all right.
Yeah.
But don't overdo the vitamins, apparently.
Says who?
Chen.
What would he know?
Well, we've just had this conversation.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
We'll cover that. I'll listen to that later. In fact, tomorrow on the way to work, actually. I'm always a day after you guys. You guys all hear this live. Of course, I don't. So in the morning, when I'm going to work to the SRA office, I normally put on the podcast from tonight, and I get to listen to it kind of a day later, effectively, which is always quite good fun.
Yeah.
See if I agree with what Chen has to say or not. And you as well, of course, too.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, I suppose that probably brings us to an end for this evening. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Go back and have some chocolate and send us your chocolate pictures, your favourite chocolate, because we all know that spiritual people need to eat chocolate. Sugar, glucose.
Well, thanks for being here. And we will see you again next week.
Cool. All right. Cheers, folks.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye-bye.